Good afternoon. Today we are going to look at area and perimeter in a slightly different way. We're going to be answering the question, what if I'm given a total area or total perimeter, but not all of the sides? Well, it's really not that bad. We're going to use the skills that you have been honing in algebra. So, let's start with perimeter. And I'm taking a look at an isosceles triangle. It has a side measure of 6, a side measure of 6, and a side measure of 4, all in inches. And you'll remember that the formula for perimeter is side plus side plus side. So if we're talking about a triangle, side plus side plus side equals perimeter. So what's the perimeter of this triangle? Well, we know that adding 6 plus 4 will give us the perimeter. So 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 6 is 16. The perimeter of this triangle is 16 inches. Well, what if they asked the question backwards? What if they gave us the total perimeter, but only gave us 2 of the sides? So this says the perimeter of this triangle is 16 inches. What's the measure of side S? Well, they gave us the 6, but that bottom one there is missing. So I know that 6 plus some number will add up to a perimeter of 16. My problem is I got to find out what that number is. Well, let's simplify this a little bit. Let's take our 6 plus 6 and add that to 12. So that now I've got 12 plus side equals 16. Well, that's a very simple equation. You know how to do that. If we're adding to find the 16, to find the missing part, we're going to have to do the opposite function, which is, of course, to subtract. So we take our total of 16, subtract out the sides we know, which are 12, we'll get the side that's missing, and 16 minus 12 is in fact 4. The missing side is 4 inches, which you could pop back a little bit and you would see to be true. Now let's take a look at how that would work with area. We know that the formula for area is length times width. And I've got two numbers here. I've got 8 for a length and 5 for a width. So I'm going to multiply 8 times 5. And 8 times 5, you already know, is, right, 40. So I have an area of 40 square feet. So again, let's work with the flip of that. What if they gave you the area, but only one side? How could you use what you know about area in algebra to find the length of the missing side? All right, the area of this rectangle is 40 feet. What is the measure of side X? So if I think about the formula for area, length times width, and I take a look at what I already have, I have a length of 8. What I'm missing is a width of X. And if I multiply 8 and X, I'll get an area of 40. So my equation would look like 8x, or 8 times something, equals 40. Well, my knowledge about algebra and equations tells me if I want to find the x and I multiplied to get the total, I would need to use the opposite function, or divide, to get the missing piece. So I would need to take 40 divided by the 8 I know to get the x I don't. 40 divided by 8 is 5, and the length of side x is 5 feet. So now it's your turn. Please go to your notebook and add these examples in. Show all the work you did so I can follow your thinking tomorrow. Here we have an area question. The area of this rectangle is 60 inches. What's the length of side Y? Well, I know that the other side is 10 inches, and altogether I'll have an area of 60. Go ahead and stop the video and work this problem. So what did you get? You knew that if you would multiply 10 times y, you would get an area of 60. So there's that equation. In order to find the value of y, we're going to have to work the opposite function. So we're going to divide. We're going to take 60 and divide it by 10. 60 divided by 10 is y. 60 divided by 10 is 6. And the length of side y is 6. Well, let's give a perimeter problem a try. Here we're looking at an irregular pentagon, and this irregular pentagon, remember irregular means the sides aren't congruent, it has a perimeter of 22 units. So what's the length of side S? Well, pentagon means we have 5 sides to add, and I've got 4 numbers. Let's record and then stop the video, and I'll give you a chance to finish that problem, and then we'll check. So we've got 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus the side we don't know about is going to add up to 22 units. Well, there I've got my numbers recorded. Let's go ahead and add together the numbers we already know. And when you add 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5, you get 19. So 19 plus the length of side S will give us our perimeter of 22. Algebra tells us if we're adding to get the total, to find the piece we're missing, we'll subtract. So our total perimeter of 22, taking out the pieces we already know, 19, will give us the side we're missing, S. 22 minus 19 is 3. So today we've answered the question, what if I'm given a total area or total perimeter but not all of the sides? You know to use your formulas to create an equation and use what you know about algebra to find the missing pieces. Have a fabulous afternoon.